have just a few minutes left. I knew this was going to happen.
Oh my goodness.
Whenever we talk,
are you serious?
I am serious. Whenever we talk, this is what happens. So I was thinking maybe we would just take 2 more questions.
Let's do it.
But we do super fast, right?
Okay.
So like, 30-second answers each. All right. Here is the next question. Let's do this one. This is from Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan asks, how can I stay positive for my students? How can I support them even when I lack motivation?
That's a good one. So real quick, it goes back to something that we talked about earlier, which is remember your why. I'm going to add on to that and remember your press, which is what are you pressing towards? What is the big goal that you have anchored yourself for and your students to? And what is it going to be like when you reach it? Keep that in mind. So sometimes to stay positive, you talk about what's going forward. Here's what we've done this year. Recount the celebrations that you've done. I remember when you all came into this class and you were doing this, and now look at what we're doing. Like, it's awesome.
Yep. I was going to say very similar, that I think if you say out loud to yourself and to students, these are the amazing things I'm seeing. These are the amazing ways that we are learning. I heard you make this comment yesterday, and I heard you do this, and I saw this. You start to affirm those positive behaviors because it's really easy to walk into a classroom and say, all of these people forgot to turn in their homework. All of these people did not do well on the assessment. I mean, it's easy to make a list of those things.
Right.
And I think start with a different list, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
How do you deal with long, stressful days? That's from Melanie.
That's a good one. So for me, there's a couple of things. This seems counterintuitive, but I'm going to say like several things very quickly. The first thing I like to do is I like to get to some like really worshipful, quiet type music. That helps me. That's number one. Number two, which is the opposite of that, I like to actually have quiet. Because sometimes when it's quiet and I'm driving, because I have a pretty long commute, I'm able to arrest my thoughts or at least find where they're going and then just have a conversation with myself. Certainly, I pray as well. And then when I come into the home, I try to do the things that energize me, right? And I'm a big sports fan, so I might be watching a basketball game or watching the latest This Is Us episode, which might make you cry, but
probably makes everybody cry.
Right. But those are some of the things that I do after a long day. And then you know what? I get a good night of sleep.
Yeah, that's huge. It's
really
huge. I have to work really hard at that one. I would just add that I think you need a little bit of buffer time. So when you have a long, stressful day, because I think there are very few teachers whose day ends when they leave their school, right? Most teachers, they're going to work again at night, or it's going to be early in the morning. We all have some kind of routine that involves doing schoolwork that's not in the building.
Right.
So I think that there has to be a buffer between the work of the day and then the work of either assessing or preparing or whatever it is that you're doing, outside of that building. Because when you are in the building and you're with all of those people, that just takes incredible presence, right? You have to be incredibly present, so much energy to do that. So give yourself a little bit of a buffer. There are so many amazing questions and comments that have been coming in, and I think we could keep going for another half an hour. But what we will do is make sure that we continue to collect all of your questions and try to work them into some other conversations that we have in the future. So Josh Parker, thank you so much for joining us. You are just an absolute joy and full of wisdom as always. I want to thank and absolutely huge shout out to Teacher to Teacher for their continued support of this community and also this Ask Sarah work. For all of you who maybe want to recapture some of this conversation, I will be putting it on my blog under the Ask Sarah tab, which you can find at sarahbrownwesling.com. It'll be there on Sunday. And you all have heard me say this many times before, but questions and not answers are the things that keep us learning and growing. So keep those questions coming. We'll keep answering them. You can submit them to us via Facebook, Twitter, or on the Ask Sarah tab of my webpage, which you can find at sarahbrownwesling.com. Josh Parker, thank you.
Sarah Brown Westling, thank you.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.